I would imagine if I was with you now and I asked you this question, would you like to be even more productive in your week, or would you maybe even like to get more done but in less time? I would imagine you and almost everybody would say yes to that question. Well, I'd like to show you how to do that. In order for us to become more productive and maybe to do more in less time, we need to control time. That's my key message to you. I'd encourage you to start, if you're not already, doing this, controlling time. Now that might seem very obvious, but many of us don't do this. We do the opposite. We let time control us. So what would we need to do to control time? Well, the first thing I believe we would need to do is we need to map it out. What time looks like for us. And for all of us, this is what time looks like. This is a typical Monday to Friday week. We all get them, but we use them to different standards. So how would we control this? Well, I believe the key to controlling this is what you do before your week begins impacts hugely on the success of your week. So something I encourage you to do is to decide, here's the key words, in advance, what success is going to look like. So deciding on it in advance means that before your week begins, you set very clear goals for the week ahead. And then what you do is you decide when you're going to do this, and critically, you decide what you need to do to achieve these goals. So we got to decide what's the activities around these goals, and then we schedule it. We decide it and we schedule it here in advance before the week begins. What do I want to achieve? When am I going to do it? And then we start to map it all out. Well, I'll avail of this time here, and this time here, and this time here, and this time here. And we map out our week for all of these activities. That's controlling time. But many of us actually don't do this. Here's how not to control time. Decide it as you go through your week, which is what many of us do. We just decide, well, what will I do next? And there's no master plan. There's no master goal. We're just making it up almost as we go along. So that's some of the ways that we begin to control our week. Here's the second thing. So the first thing, set clear goals in advance. The second thing is to schedule the activity. But here's the thing. The key is, you've noticed I have not filled all of this time. I encourage you to fill about 60% of your week in advance. If you fill all of Monday and somebody comes in at 10 o'clock unexpectedly, or something happens that you were not anticipating that diverts your attention for an hour or for 2 hours, then there's no way you're going to get a full day done. It's impossible. And what happens is you go home, you've got your diary filled, you've only got 80% of it done, but you go home not feeling good about the day because you only got 70 or 80% done. And what's more, you now have even more things to put into an already full Tuesday. So your list just keeps expanding. I encourage you to do the opposite. Undersell and overperform. Schedule 60% of activity, go and do 100% of that, and then overachieve. You will be going home with a much better psychology and a much higher motivation to really power on through the week. So the first thing, set clear goals in advance. The second thing, schedule your activity. You then have to go and do it. But one way to ensure that you're doing what you need to do is schedule something else in here just for 5 minutes. That's what I call Check-in Wednesday. Now, Check-in Wednesday is where you stop, you slow down, and just for 5 or 10 minutes, get out of your week and look back in and reconnect with these here. Am I actually doing them? Do I need to really up my game? Have I done these things? Am I behind? Am I ahead? You see, if you wait until the end of the week to do this, it's too late. If you do it in the middle of your week, it gives you an opportunity to examine your behavior to date, and critically to give you an opportunity to react while you're still in that week. If you wait until then, this is gone forever. You can never get that back. Whereas if we do it here and we react positively with activity, well, then the chances are we will get all of this done because we still have time. So they're the key things. That's how you control time. That's how you become even more effective. And that's how you may well get more done in less time. And there's the full list of what we've done. Let me give you one more recommendation. If you really want to get some significant shift in your business in a week, here's something I recommend. Decide in advance 3 or 4 things. Really big things, the things that would have the biggest impact in the week ahead. Something in a week's time, gosh, I'd be so glad if I had these done. Decide them in advance and then make these things non-negotiable. Make them non-negotiable. No matter what happens in my week, I will get these done because these will have the biggest impact. Check you back in on them on Wednesday. Make sure you get them done. Do that week after week. You watch where your business goes.